Sex from the first date? Well, I'll tell you this much, not for me. But if you're asking for yourself, that depends. Here's on what it depends. First of all, what your erotic personality is. If you're the type of person that really wants to consume like as many people as possible, and you're enjoying that, and you're getting kicks out of that, and you're getting thrills, and you're getting energy, and you're inspired, and you're motivated to do more and more stuff in your life, sex on the first date, yeah, might be the best thing for you, in fact. If you're in a place where you're actually not looking for a commitment, and you don't necessarily feel okay to sit and wait for somebody, right? Or somebody matching you, then yeah, definitely. Sex on the first date, sex on the first time you meet somebody, sex with, I don't know, sex in the third date, if you want to go with that, sure, absolutely. Here's another one that's counterintuitive. The more you like somebody, the less likely you are to sleep with them on the first date. And in case you're a woman that you're probably famous or known for sleeping on the first date, somebody actually meeting you and you being super interested in them and actually wanting more than just, kicks for one night, they might feel confused. But why the heck do you sleep with them or other people on the first night, but not with me, right? They might actually feel angry about this if they don't know you and if they don't know that you actually want them on the long run. So that one is quite a predicament. When you want somebody, like you really want the person and they want you and you feel like giving in and having sex, right, I don't know, too fast, not necessarily on the first date, like that's also a generic name for sex too soon, whatever that too soon is, like 2 weeks after you've met them, 4 weeks, 2 months, it depends on the people, but sex too soon, it may require that you actually set some clear boundaries, especially if you want the person and you want to switch from jumping from flower to flower, as we say in Romania, to really going steady with somebody and going deeper with somebody. And it depends for you, the answer, also on the stage of maturity. Let's say you don't necessarily enjoy so much going too fast with somebody, you like to chase them a little bit, you like to know them a little bit before, you like to feel into them, like if you're somebody that can smell, figuratively speaking, smell a person from the way they walk, from the way they talk, from the way they speak of certain things, from the way they move, from what choices of places that they enjoy going to, and so on. Yeah, all of these signs for somebody who's like in a sort of a sexual detective role, they'll sniff or smell the person bit by bit and they'll start understanding, wow, what makes this person alive in their intimacy. Being in that place, yeah, that requires some sexual maturity on your part. It also requires that you have had probably enough of sleeping casually with certain people and you really want something deeper. It does come about at a certain stage in your own growth. It's not necessarily related to your age. It's just your stage of evolution. And in that situation, sex on the first date or too soon, yeah, that may be different for you in that place. And last, because I'm gonna put it right here, you have to remember that sex with somebody, yeah, the other person also has an input. So if we're talking about somebody who's really cunning in sexuality and they know how to get away with stuff, I'll just say it out here, manipulate you, influence you, inspire you into doing things that you may necessarily not have thought of doing in the first place, then sex on the first date, it might depend on that also. Yep, you can be convinced, even though you don't initially want to do something, you can be convinced, inspired, gently guided into doing something that you may not want to do. And that's probably a lesson for you to learn, becoming aware where you're manipulated, where you can be convinced, where your boundaries are not so clear, where your will may not be so strong. Yeah, that's also a thing in sexuality. So sex on the first date, for me, no thank you. For other people, as in you who's watching, it depends. And I don't think that that's a problem. I think that ultimately it's a decision, but it's a decision that doesn't come overnight. Yeah, my decision did not come overnight. Anybody that I've met, either colleagues or teachers or coachees, this type of decision takes time and a lot of various experiences that you reach this decision or this conclusion gradually, slowly. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that that's one thing that you may want to consider. And by the way, if you've decided something at a certain stage, you may decide to reconsider. That's also possible, that's totally fine. And sex on the first date, it's never a rule. It's always depending, or it always depends on what you want, where you're at, how cunning you are of getting away with things, or how cunning other people are of making you do things that you may not want to do. And that's not, I mean, in most cases, not necessarily bad. Hopefully you get protection, hopefully you get some precautions there, as in who the person is and so on, where we're going, what we're doing. I feel the need to say these things, although I want to believe that if you're watching my channel, you already know these things. But yes, these are the various factors that your decision may depend on. All right, in case it brought some light into what you may consider when thinking about having sex with somebody the first time you meet them or not, I want to encourage you to also dive a little deeper into your erotic skills or developing your erotic skills. And for that, check out my Udemy courses. They're under the video. And also check out the offer that I have around the holiday season. I took my 6-week coaching program and I broke it into just 1 week for anybody interested at least in getting my eyes on their sex life and getting a strategic insight into where they're at and what might they consider doing if they have certain objectives or if they want to reach a certain type of intimacy with their committed partners, or if they want to be better in the future relationships and so on. So check those out. They're all under the video, and I'll see you next week. Ciao.